Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mrs. Haverstock, and I'm really excited to talk to you today about math. This is Chapter 11, Lesson 8. If you would make sure that your Math Spiral notebook has in it our heading and our I can statement, along with today's date, 3/19/20, just like we've always done in math every morning. So one thing that I'm noticing about this whole remote learning thing is I really miss hanging out with you guys, and especially miss being able to share some of the fun lessons that we do in math, like this one. This one is one of my favorites. I love this lesson because it talks about math in a really great scientific way. Like, if you are a scientist, you will use this math skill so many times. And I know that in Mrs. O'Donnell's class, you probably already have done line plots. You've already talked about gathering data. And we're just going to put some of our math skills of fraction work and number lines and organization into work today. And so it's going to be a great day to just put all those skills together and put it into our notes. So I'm kind of excited about it. I am hopeful that my video comes out well this time. Please, I love the comments that you guys are sharing with me about the videos. Some things, sometimes it works, sometimes it's not so great. So just make sure you're communicating with me. I really find it helpful. Okay, so as you can see, I have gotten a box of data here that I've written down. You might need to pause the video and write it down. I did. So if you want to do that now, that's a great idea. But this is our data. This is our information that we're going to be using today. And because we are talking right now, I'm recording it, it's around lunchtime. So we're talking about sandwiches. Yay, life is good. And if you think about getting a big submarine sandwich at one of those food stores like Jimmy John's or Subway, I'm going to talk about how many feet it is. And so we've got different points of data. If you notice, I've got 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 1/2, 1/4, and 1/4. So those are all separate pieces of sandwiches. And what I've got to do now as a mathematician is organize that data. So instead of just having it in a box, I'm going to actually write on the side of it how many 1/3 pieces do I have. Let's see, how many 1/3 pieces do I have? 1/3. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 1/3, so I have 1/3 3 times. That's really important if you look at that word. We'll talk about that in a minute. Then I'm going to go ahead to my next one. My next one is 1/2. Well, I've only got 1/2 one time. And I've got 1/4 two times. So if you're looking at my data, I've now taken my data and I've organized it. So I've got two steps going on. Take the information, organize my data. Cool. Okay, so you're going to notice that I have to keep moving screens. So you go ahead and just keep writing in your notes. And what I did is I took that data that we wrote down, and I still have 1/3 3 times, 1/2 one time, and 1/4 two times, right? But if you remember that word, I said times. So that's our operation that we're going to be looking at. Instead of just saying 3 times, I'm going to put a multiplication number in there because we know that's how many times I have that piece of data. All right, so to record that data then, I need to put it on a line plot. That's what this is called. So my data goes on my line plot. And my line plot needs to have a title. So my line plot is going to be titled Sandwich Lengths, because that's what my data is talking about, sandwich lengths. And I need to think about where on my number line does 1/3 hit. Well, let's think. I know that if I divide this into thirds, it'd be about right here. So this is my 1/3 mark. And I have 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. That's how I record 3 pieces of those data. I'm going to go ahead and do my 1/2 right in the middle. There's 1/2. And I only have one piece of data that's 1/2 long. And then I'm going to try another color. Let's try this one, and that's my 1/4. Well, let's see, 1/4 is half of 1/2, so I'm going to sneak it in right there. Oof, that's a little bit tight. I have 2 of those, right? Okay, so I've got my data organized. That's over here. This is my data. here I've got my line plot all set. Line plot is ready to go, and I have plotted my course. Now, this is all great, right? I feel like I'm doing well. But here is the tricky part. Now I want to talk about what is the fair share of my sandwiches. Fair share. So if you're thinking about fair share, I often say that is a synonym. It means about. It's approximately the same word as the word average. So if you ever see somebody say, we need an average amount of how long these sandwiches are, they're talking about a fair share. What is it if I take the average of all of my pieces of data here? I'm going to take this data and I'm going to calculate it. Okay? So Okay, so here I am, I've got my data, I put it on a line plot, and now I want to go back to finding out my fair share or my average. So the way I do that is I need to add my data. I hope that's not too high. Hold on a minute. Let me take that off. Look at me erasing things. Pretty cool, right? Okay, I'm going to, oh, that's a bummer. Hey, that's good. Okay, so I'm going to add my data. That's the first thing. And then I'm going to divide by number of data. All right, so let me talk you through that part. Adding the data. Well, here's the best part about this. We've already done fractions. We did fractions in chapter 9 and chapter 10, and so we are totally good at this, right? So let's take this over here, and we're going to go ahead and solve. Let's see, 1/3 times 3. Oh, I remember when we do a whole number, right? We need a denominator. So this is really 1 times 3 over 3 times 1. That's 3/3, which means this is the whole number 1. Cool. And I'm going to add that to this next one. Well, let's see. This is times 1. Anything times 1 is that number, right? So this is 1/2. Cool, that's that one. This one, I have to put the denominator down. It becomes 2/4. Well, if I put that in lowest terms, that's also known as 1/2. All right, so now I'm going to take my 3 pieces of data, 1 plus 1/2 plus 1/2, and I'm going to add them all together. Let's see, 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1, the whole number 1, and then I have the whole number 1. Well, that's the whole number 2. So far, I'm doing great, but I've only done the first step. Boy, this is complicated, right? So now I'm going to do step 2, which is divide it by the number of pieces of data. So I have the number 2, and I'm going to divide it by how many pieces of data I had. Well, let's count. I had 3, 4, 5, 6. Does that make sense to you? I'm adding up how many pieces were on my board, how many pieces were on my line plot. There were 6 dots on my line plot, and so 2 divided by 6. That looks really weird, but I'm grateful for that lesson way back in chapter 10, lesson 1, when we said a division problem can be a fraction. So I'm going to take that 2, and that becomes my numerator, really 2 divided by 6, right? Got to put everything in lowest terms, divide them both by 2, and I get 1/3 final answer. So my fair share, my average is 1/3. We're going to try another one. It's all right. We'll keep going. Okay, so let's try another one. So this one is the data that we have about the amount of juice in, let's say, in a daycare, right? So every cup in the daycare setting has to have an amount of juice in it. And here are the amounts in each glass. 1/4 a cup, 1/4, a half, 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 and 1/4 and 1/2. So it's all written down there. And my first step is to organize the data. So remember, when I organize the data, I'm going to put a list down. And a lot of times I organize it like this. I say, oh, I see 1/4 is first. So I'm going to write down 1/4. And I'm going to count how many I have. I have 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's one over here. 4. So I have 1/4 4 times. Now I'm going to do the next fraction that I see, and that's 1/2. How many times do I have 1/2? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have that one 4 times. So I've organized my data. The second step in our process is making sure that I have a line plot. So now I create my line plot, and that is let's see if I can do it right. I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to do, again, both 1/4 and 1/2 are less than the whole number 1, so I'll make it between 0 and 1. Here is 1/2. Here is 1/4. I have 4 pieces of data at 1/4 and 4 pieces of data at 1/2. Now, before I leave this, I have to give my line plot a title, and my title is the same as my data piece, so it will be amount of juice. Okay, underline because it's a title, right? Okay, so I've got my organized data, I've got my line plot. Third thing, add the data. Alrighty, so here we go. Adding the data, I'm going to go through and do all I know with fractions already. So here I choose to use my denominator. This becomes 4/4, right? 1 times 4 times 1, 4 times 1, that's 4/4, otherwise known as the whole number 1. Same thing here, I use my denominator, 1 times 4 and 2 times 1. Well, that's weird because now it's 4/2. That's improper, right? It's a division problem, remember. 4 divided by 2. How many 2's do I get in 4? There's 2 of them. Now I'm not done. I need to add these up. 1 plus 2 is 3. Cool. To find my fair share, final step, ladies and gentlemen, fair share. Do I have another color? Ooh, I'll try black. Okay. To find my fair share, I now count the number of data, and I'm going to divide my total number by it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 pieces of data. 3 divided by 8 equals, remember, a division problem can be a fraction. 3 divided by 8, right? 3/8. That's it. 3/8 of a gallon. Sorry, I don't think I put gallons up there. These are all gallons. There you go. 3/8 of a gallon is my fair share. Whew, right? You did it. All right, folks, we are going to do an independent practice, right? And this is the data that you're going to be using here, yarn length. So this is yarn length. Whoops, that's a terrible box. And I managed to remember to put feet. That's my unit of measure right here. That's an FT. Sorry, it looks like an H, doesn't it? It's the letter F and T for feet. And here's all the data. I wanted to remind you, these are the 4 steps on making sure that we display our data in a line plot today. So if you could copy these down in your notes first. First, we want to organize the data. Then we do a line plot. Make sure you title that line plot. Then you do adding the data, and then it's a find the fair share. So what I'm going to ask you to do today is go ahead and copy all of this screen down, push pause, and then do this, please. Do the 4 steps. And when you click back on this video, you'll see the answer to what the fair share of these yarn lengths is, and hopefully your notebook will look just like mine. Give it a try. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, here's your answer. There are a lot of steps for this one, but honestly, it's so fun and it's so much data collecting. Like when you learn this skill really well, your science knowledge goes through the roof, right? Because you're always doing experiments and collecting data, and this is the way you organize it and decide what is the average or what is the fair share of that data. So a couple of things I just want to remind you of when you look at this information. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can use black for this. But I went and I made sure that when I was done adding, I went back here and I counted. I don't know if you can see it. I counted all my data. There were 12 pieces of data. So if I count on my line plot, there should be 12 X's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? 12 X's makes sense. So all that makes sense. And I want to give you one other caution. we know how to do fractions, and we know that once I get to this step, I can't see that black very well, so I'm going to change my color again. Once I get to this step right here and I'm adding them, I have to remember that I need a common denominator. So if I do not have a common denominator at the end, I need to make sure that I change them to common denominators, right? That is the way to add them up. So there will be a problem on page 847 that you will have to change some of the fractions to common denominators. So that's kind of a open your ears, that's going to happen, okay? All right, so our next thing is to think about our independent practice. Alrighty, so here's your independent practice for today. You are going to be working on pages 847, 848, numbers 3 through 7, all of them, like literally just a few problems, right? But here's something you need to know. You probably will need to use your notebook because even though there's a little bit of space in there and they've got the line plot ready for you, all of your math thinking that we just did on the other page, that's going to take up a lot of space. So you feel free to use your notebook to show your work because we know that's what helps our brain, right? We want to show our work. So today's assignment is to go ahead and do pages 847, 848. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how you do. I'll post the answers that are in my notebook to these problems so that you can have a good idea of what to do. Ask me any questions you want. Remember, you can email me. I thank you to those who have emailed me already. It's really great hearing from you guys. All right, have a great rest of your day and happy line plotting.